जय गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरो वन चारी यमुना तीरो वन चारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद। निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतसी श्रीमद हे श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की समवेत वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल हरि। मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोहाभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स पदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीच्युतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादं सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमस्तते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विशोभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिस्वरूपदामोदर स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्सद्भक्तमनये मणिपुर उद्भवाय च प्रभुपादलसद्वाणी प्रचार निरतायते। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो आचार्यपादाय निताय कृपाप्रदायिने गौरकथा धामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्तदशतारिणे। Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, Text 17 and 18. Text 18 is written on the board. So first we will read Text 17 and then we will recite Text 18 together. Text 17 I will read alone. इति स्म रājādhyavasāya-yuktaḥ prācīna-mūle kuśeṣu dhīraḥ udaṅ-mukho dakṣiṇa-kūla āste samudra-patnyāḥ sva-suta-nyasta-bhāraḥ. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In perfect self-control, Mahārāja Parīkṣit sat down on a seat of straw, kuśa, with straw roots facing the east, placed on the southern bank of the Ganges, and he himself faced the north. Just previously he had given charge of his kingdom over to his son. Purport. The river Ganges is celebrated as the wife of the sea. The seat of kuśa straw is considered to be sanctified if the straw is taken out of the earth complete with root. And if the root is pointed toward the east, it is considered to be auspicious. Facing the north is still more favorable for attaining spiritual success. Mahārāja Parīkṣit handed over the charge of administration to his son before leaving home. He was thus fully equipped for all favorable conditions. So then text 18, please repeat after me. Evaṁ ca tasmiन् naradeva deve prāyopavishte divideva sangha prāyopavishte divideva sangha prasasya bhūmau bekiran prasunoir prasasya bhūmau bekiran prasunoir udaṅ-mukho dandabhayascha neduh udaṅ-mukho dandabhayascha neduh evaṁ ca tasmiन् naradeva deve prāyopavishte divideva sangha prasasya bhūmau bekiran prasunoir udaṅ-mukho dandabhayascha neduh. Please try. Evaṁ ca tasmiन् naradeva deve prāyopavishte divideva sangha prasasya bhūmau bekiran prasunoir udaṅ-mukho dandabhayascha neduh. Evaṁ ca tasmiन् naradeva deve prāyopavishte divideva sangha prasasya bhūmau bekiran prasunoir udaṅ-mukho dandabhayascha neduh. Okay, Matajis. Evaṁ ca tasmiन् naradeva deve prāyopavishte divideva sangha prasasya bhūmau bekiran prasunoir udaṅ-mukho dandabhayascha neduh. Evaṁ ca tasmiन् naradeva deve prāyopavishte divideva sangha prasasya bhūmau bekiran prasunoir udaṅ-mukho dandabhayascha neduh. Thank you. Word meaning. Evam, thus, cha, and tasmin, in that, naradeva deve, upon the kings, prāyopavishte, being engaged in fasting to death, divi, in the sky, deva, demigods, sangha, all of them, prasasya, having praised the action, bhūmau, on the earth, bekiran, scattered, prasunai, with flowers, muda, in pleasure, muhu, continually, dundubhayaha, celestial drums, cha, also, neduhu, beaten. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Thus the king, Mahārāja Parīkṣit, said to fast until death. All the demigods of the higher planets praise the king's action and in pleasure continually scattered flowers over the earth and beat celestial drums. Purport. Even up to the time of Mahārāja Parīkṣit, there were interplanetary communications, and the news of Mahārāja Parīkṣit's fasting unto death to attain salvation reached the higher planets in the sky where the intelligent demigods live. The demigods are more luxurious than human beings, but all of them are obedient to the orders of the Supreme Lord. There is no one in the heavenly planets who is an atheist or non-believer. Thus, any devotee of the Lord on the surface of the earth is always praised by them. And in the case of Mahārāja Parīkṣit, they were greatly delighted and thus gave tokens of honor by scattering flowers over the earth and by beating celestial drums. A demigod takes pleasure in seeing someone go back to Godhead. He is always pleased with the devotee of the Lord, so much so that by his adhyavasāya powers, he may help the devotees in all respects. And by their actions, the Lord is pleased with them. There is an invisible chain of complete cooperation between the Lord, the demigods, and the devotees of the Lord on earth. So today we are supposed to discuss from two verses, verse 17th and 18th. So let us try to briefly explain verse 17. Itisma rājādhyavasāya-yuktaḥ prācīna-mūleṣu kuśeṣu dhīraḥ kuśeṣu dhīraḥ udaṅ-mukho dakṣiṇa-kūla āste samudra-patnyāḥ sva-suta-nyasta-bhāraḥ. So here it is described how King Parīkṣit, he sat down at the bank of Ganga, but Goswamis sometimes explain that is not only Ganga, that was also Jamuna. So I don't know, either it is only Jamuna or sometime both the river flows together, Jamuna and Ganga. In Bhagavatam it is written Ganga, but in many places I have seen the Goswamis, they explain it was Jamuna. So whatever it may be, both are sacred river, and Parīkṣit Maharaj, he sat down dakṣiṇa-kūla at the southern bank of Ganga, and everything is described in detail, that he sat on a kuśa grass, kuśaṣan, a seat made of kuśa grass, and the root, that kuśa grass was complete, I mean it was uprooted with roots, and the kuśaṣan, the seat was made with that complete kuśa grass which was uprooted with roots, and the roots were faced toward the east, and he himself, King Parīkṣit himself, faced toward the north. So it is explained here, Srila Prabhupada explained in the purport, that all these, I mean it is like part of rituals. It is very, very auspicious. In devotional life, we have to try to maintain all the rules and regulations, rituals, and as far as possible. Although it is not the main thing, but if we are, I mean, if possible, we can maintain all rules and regulations. Generally, sometimes we sit on plastic. This is made of plastic, no? It is not very auspicious according to Vedic standard, plastic is not what to speak of auspicious, they are inauspicious. You understand? But kuśa grass is very, very auspicious. Kuśa grass was born from the water sprinkled from the body of Varaha incarnation. When Varahadev took incarnation, then from his body he sprinkled some water, and water of Garbhodak ocean, and that water fell on earth and produced kuśa grass. So kuśa grass is considered to be very auspicious, and all the symptoms mentioned here, that the root should be faced toward the east, and the person who is sitting on the kuśasana, he should face toward the north. So like this, there are some rules and regulations, just like when we chant Gayatri. In the morning we face towards east, noon also we face towards east, and evening we face towards north. So these are some rules and regulations. Sometimes, we may also break, sometimes rules and regulations are broken by mistake or due to some situation. When you are going by car, you don't know which is east side or west side. You are going by train, you are chanting Gayatri on train. So sometimes rules and regulations are broken. We are compelled, situation compels us to break the rules. So the rules are actually secondary. If you are not lazy, and if the situation is favorable, we should maintain all the rules and regulations as far as possible. There are unlimited rules and regulations. If you read Hari Bhakti Vilas, one time somebody asked Prabhupada, in Hari Bhakti Vilas it is said we should do like this, like this. Prabhupada replied, forget your this Vilas or that Vilas. You understand? Prabhupada was not so much fond of following all the rules and regulations. Actually, if you follow all the rules and regulations, especially for the Goshthanandi, we are supposed to preach, is it not? But for preaching, sometimes we have to, in different situation, it is not that we can maintain all the rules and regulations. Say for example, Chaturmasya started, and next month is Damodar month. If you follow Hari Bhakti Vilas, it will be very difficult to go outside and preach. That's why generally they don't go for 4 months. They stay in some ashram or at home. In 4 months of Chaturmasya, generally preaching work is not done so much. But Goshthanandi, they don't care. They go and preach under any circumstances. So for that, sometimes we may break rules and regulations. When Prabhupada first went to America, I was reading in his biography that he was keeping prasadam in a freeze at the top floor, and at the bottom somebody was keeping meat. Have you read that? Yeah. So much tolerant Prabhupada was for preaching. So for preaching, sometimes rules and regulations can be sacrificed. Even Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was so staunch followers of all rules and regulations. So one time devotees were not going for preaching on Ekadashi day. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur called his disciples, why are you not going out for preaching? So they replied, today is Ekadashi, we are all engaged in chanting. So what is the problem? No, Ekadashi day we take simple prasadam, so we feel weak. So just now you cook khichdi and take khichdi and eat khichdi and go out for preaching. It was not the intention, but the intention is that preaching is more important than your Ekadashi. You understand? I heard another story from some devotee that the then Harikesh Maharaj was asked to go to preach in Russia. So he replied that in Russia vegetarian foods are rare to achieve, not available. So Prabhupada said, what is available? Available only flesh, meat. So Prabhupada said, okay, you can eat meat and preach. It was not intention, but it shows the importance of preaching. Goshthanandi gives more importance on preaching. Somehow or other you have to preach. If you care so much, all rules and regulations, just like we cannot eat food cooked by non-devotees. But for preaching, sometimes may not be non-devotee, but you may not get pure cook. Prabhupada used to say, blind uncle is better than no uncle. A blind uncle is better than no uncle. At least you have an uncle. You have an uncle. So, in this way, for preaching, some adjustment has to be made. You will not find everywhere pure cooks. You will not find everywhere pure devotees, pure association. But for preaching, we have to sometimes become little lenient in following at least the rituals and external rules and regulations. Internally, our mood, our bhava, that is very, very important. That is very, very important. In many incidents, we have seen how Krishna gives importance on the bhava, on the mood. Krishna is called bhavagrahi, you know, bhavagrahi. Murkha vadati vishnaya, dhīraḥ vadati vishnave, ubhayastu samang punyam, bhavagrahi janardana. Murkha, an uneducated devotee, he doesn't know Sanskrit very well, so sometimes he chants mantra, you know, wrongly, wrong pronunciation, he says wrong, grammatically wrong, he says Om Vishnaya Namah, because in many words this aya is there, so he thinks it will be Vishnaya, just like we say Gauraya, so Gauraya or Gaurabe? What we say? I am also not expert in Sanskrit. So it may be Gauraya or Gaurabe. I think Gauraya, no? Gauraya. So those who are not expert in Sanskrit, the actual correct word is Vishnave. Om Vishnave Nama. But those who are not expert in Sanskrit, they may say by mistake, Om Vishnaya Nama. Murkha vadati Vishnaya. Dhīraḥ vadati Vishnave. Those who are sober, real scholar, Pandita, scholar, they say, Om Vishnave Nama, pronunciation is correct. But Murkha means uneducated, he says Om Vishnaya Nama, pronunciation is wrong. But Krishna doesn't care for your pronunciation so much. If it is not done willingly or negligently or due to laziness, Krishna doesn't mind. If your mood is okay, ubhayastu samang punyam, for both the cases your piety is same. If you say Om Vishnaya Nama and if you say Om Vishnave Nama, in both the cases piety will be same if it is done with good devotion and good mood. Bhavagrahi Janardana. Janardana means who is living within everybody's heart, and he is known as Bhavagrahi. He receives only the bhava, only the mood, only the love. Patrang pushpang phalang toyam jame bhakta prajachati tadahang bhoktu paritam, bhakti yuga paritam. If you offer with devotion, that is the main thing. When Krishna went as the, what is called, Rajdut is, what is called in English? He went as the ambassador, yes, ambassador. He went to meet Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra as ambassador of King Yudhishthir. And he was requesting them that give some, okay, we don't want fighting. Fighting means a great loss for both the sides. So many innocent people will die. So it is not good. So we will be satisfied that if you give only 5 villages. But Duryodhana was so adamant, he told, I will not give a dust even, which can hold at the top of a needle. That dust also I will not give. This is the best example of being adamant. How much adamant he became. The property belonged to the Pandavas. The whole kingdom belonged to the Pandavas. But Duryodhana was so adamant that he was not ready to give one dust. So then Krishna understood this person cannot be rectified. Krishna can force, but jatechhasi tatha kuru, he never forces. He gives freedom, but you will suffer the reaction of your karma. That is there. So then, after the meeting, Duryodhana invited him to invited for a feast, and the feast was cooked with pride. So many nice items he arranged to cook, because he thought he will show his opulence to Krishna. That was pride, that whatever you are eating in Dwaraka and whatever we are eating here, you must compare. You understand? You can understand what is our standard and what is your standard, cowherd boy. So he had lot of pride inside his heart. There was no tinge of devotion. There was no devotion. There was no devotional mood. There was no emotion. So he just was proud, and he wanted to show Duryodhana that what standard of food he is eating. So then he invited Krishna, and Krishna said, "No, I will not accept your food." Why? No, because you did not accept my proposal. I just asked for 5 villages. You did not accept. You wanted to fight. So you did not satisfy my desire. So I will not eat. So then he went to Vidura's house without invitation. He went to Vidura's house without invitation. And Vidura's wife, Vidurani, she was so happy. They knew who Krishna was. They knew that Krishna is God himself. They knew. They are devotee, pure devotee, both husband and wife. So the wife of Vidura became like half mad, because she was overwhelmed that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the owner of all universes, protector of all universes, all living entities. She was thinking about Krishna, and she became overwhelmed. So there was only banana in Vidura's house, ripened banana. And she took a bunch of banana, and she started, this very common story. She started what is called peeling banana, and she was throwing the banana, and the fruit she is throwing, and she is giving the skin to Krishna, not willingly. She was so much absorbed in Krishna's thoughts that she became like, she was not in this world. So she gave the skin. So Krishna could tell, okay, my dear mother, you please give me the banana. Why you are giving me the skin by mistake? Generally we will do the same thing. No? We will say, no, give me the banana, you are throwing banana. But Krishna did not say. Personality of Godhead, we must understand. Personality of Godhead. Godhead is Godhead. So he did not say anything. He was chewing banana skin very happily. So where is his happiness? Happiness is in the bhava. Krishna's happiness is in the bhava, not in the external rituals, external all these things. If your bhava is pure, then under all circumstances Krishna is satisfied. But these rituals, as far as possible, we should maintain. Due to laziness, sometimes if we ignore these rituals, whatever rituals are, given by our authorities for performing devotional service also, as far as possible, without being lazy, we should follow all these rules and regulations. But due to some situation, eat nice food in Duryodhana's house, but Krishna ate banana skin in Vidura's house, because there was devotional emotion within Vidura's wife's heart. So that is more important. Bhavagrahi Janardana. There are so many stories like this. There is one story in Chaitanya Bhagavat that one day a snake charmer, he was singing a song related to Kaliya snake. The song was related to Kaliya snake, and the snake charmer, ordinary snake charmer, he was playing that flute with that Kaliya song mood. The tune was known to everyone, especially Haridas Thakur was present there. So when he heard that he is singing about Kaliya Leela, pastimes of Kaliya, then Haridas Thakur, he was completely absorbed in that thought, and he fainted. He fainted and fell down on the ground. So immediately hundreds of people came, someone started touching his feet. Like this, they were giving so much honor to Haridas Thakur. So there was one Brahmin, proud Brahmin, he was standing beside. He is thinking, he is born from a Muslim family, and I am born in a Brahmin family. They are all touching his feet. But I am by birth a Brahmin, so much qualified, nobody is carrying me. So I understand, if I faint like him, they will honor me. Understand? So he did a drama, He was doing like this, suddenly he fell down beside Haridas Thakur. The snake charmer himself understood that this is drama, he is doing drama. So with the flute, he started beating, And other people also came and started beating him, And immediately he stood up and ran away. So this, bhāv, ordinary people also sometimes they can understand what is real bhāva and what is duplicate bhāva, Duplicate bhāva, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has narrated a very nice story of duplicate bhāva. There are two temples in one village, two temples. So in one temple, one professional singer was invited. Then he started singing, by singing, if he sings for 1 minute, he cries for 10 minutes, you understand. But that was not original bhāva, that was not the real bhāva, you understand. He was singing 1 minute and crying 10 minutes. Suddenly he fell down and did an acting drama of being fainted. So then all people gathered, they are glorifying, oh, so nice song, so nice song, so nice, so deep devotion. So they are glorifying. So the other temple team, they became little envious. Oh, that temple has become famous by inviting some special singer, So then they invited another singer, more expert. So the contact was that at that time 25 paisa was very costly, 25 paisa. So we will give you 25 paisa, but you have to cry more than that singer. Because of that singer, that temple has become famous. So we have to cry more than that singer. We will give you 25 paisa. He said, yes, I will do. And I will make your temple more famous than that temple. And it was summer, summer in Bengal is quite, hot. So where they made the pandal, actually it was a sandy area, full of sand. And in summer, sand becomes very hot, So he did not notice all these things. He started singing, Hare. Then after singing for a few seconds, he fainted. And by mistake, he fell on hot sand, very hot sand. He thought he will remain there for 1 hour, but he saw, Baba, it is impossible to stay even for a minute. Then he jumped and ran into the green room, you understand. So the temple authority became very upset. And nobody liked it. What kind of fainting? He fainted and jumped and entered into the green room. So everybody was criticizing. This was false. And the temple authority, temple Mahanta, he was also angry. What is this? We paid you 25 paisa. He said, how long the emotion of 25 paisa can continue? It is only emotion of 25 paisa. How long it can continue? So like this he was arguing. So in this way, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, by narrating this story, he explained that we should not have artificial emotion, dramatic emotion, we should have real emotion. And Krishna takes it very seriously. If you have real emotion, even if you don't have any arrangement for performing rituals gorgeously, but if you have pure love, pure emotion, Krishna takes it very seriously. Demigods also takes it very seriously. So King Yudhishthira, he had that kind of love and emotion. So the rituals were there. He was perfect ritualistically, and he was perfect in his emotion, devotion, and he sat down at the bank of Ganges for listening Harikatha. That was not yet decided. He will ask the sages present there, they will suggest, and then Shukadeva Goswami would come. So in this way he will start listening Harikatha. But demigods understood that this person, King Parīkṣit, is a really sincere person, and his emotion and devotion is very pure. So they got attracted. In those days, demigods are attracted to the earth planet because there were some advanced devotees. So because Parīkṣit Maharaj was very advanced in devotion, so the demigods also, they showered flowers, and they played Dundubi. Dundubi is divine, it is celestial drums. So in this way they honored Parīkṣit Maharaj. It is also said that later on they came with nectar, pot of nectar. But Parīkṣit Maharaj did not accept that nectar. We see another devotee who did not accept nectar, Lord Shiva. When there was samudra-manthan, then he drank the poison, he drank poison. So somebody requested him that you wait for few hours, after some time there will be nectar. You can drink nectar also. So Shiva said, not required, not required. He drank the nectar and he drank poison and he kept it on his throat. That's why he is called Nilakantha. So why he did not care for nectar? Because he was enjoying better nectar. What is that better nectar? Harikatha, Krishna Katha. So if you enjoy Krishna Katha, you don't need that nectar. Even Gurudev, he got nectar pot on his hand. He defeated Indra's soldiers and he collected nectar pot. But Narayan saw that he is not eating. He is not eating nectar. He is carrying this nectar for his brothers, I think, snake brothers. But he himself could eat. It was in his hand. He could take little nectar, but he did not eat. This is renunciation. So anyway, when Parīkṣit Maharaj was sitting and he was ready for enjoying nectar of Harikatha, the demigods became attracted. Demigods are all devotees of Krishna. There is no atheist among the demigods. And they showered flowers, they played Dundubi. One time somebody asked Prabhupada, do you sometimes like to meet with the demigods? Prabhupada said, what? No, do you like to meet with the demigods? Why I should meet the demigods? Demigods will come to meet me. It is fact. If Indra and Prabhupada meets together, Indra should offer obeisances to Prabhupada. We should understand that how much devotees are honored, and what is the devotee's position is higher than demigods. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Kita janma hau jatha tua das, Bahir-mukho Brahma janme nahi. I don't want to become Brahma without devotional attitude, without devotional emotion. I don't want to become Brahma. But if I have devotional attitude, if I have devotional mood, I rather prefer to become an insect in the house of a pure devotee. So devotional mood is so important, devotional emotion is so important, that devotee do not care to become even Brahma, they do not care to become even Indra. So if we can have the devotional mood, pure love, then you are successful even if you are an insect. Even if you are an insignificant person, beggar, like Shodama Vipra was a beggar. But because he had devotional emotion, that's why he attracted Krishna's heart. So we must understand that Krishna is bhavagrahi. He considers only our devotional mood. Of course, external things we try to maintain as far as possible. Due to laziness, we should not ignore external rules and regulations and rituals. But Krishna doesn't give much importance to your external things. Krishna gives importance only to your mood and emotion. Thank you very much. I think I don't see the time due to reflection of light. What is the time now? So that means 15 minutes left. So should we continue discussion or maybe question answer? We start question answer. Okay, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I have a comment and a question. There's a second part to the story of Harikesh Maharaj. Then Harikesh Maharaj said, well, what about my consciousness? Like if I eat meat, what about my consciousness? Prabhupada said, damn your consciousness, preach. So he was very strong on that point.
Yeah.
Now, we hear that in crisis situation, in emergency situation, we can make exceptions and change the rules. So then the question comes, what is crisis situation? What is emergency situation? Because our mind is ready to justify. My mind is ready to justify.
Very nice point. Very nice point.
So where do we draw the line?
Yeah.
Like I can see sometimes I may be in a temple and a guest comes and prasadam is in the deity room, but I'm not completely clean. But I should give prasadam to that guest because otherwise they'll leave and they, have a bad impression. So I may go in there to get it for service, like Govinda Prabhu, he stepped over Lord Chaitanya for service, but not for sense gratification.
Yeah.
But where do you categorize emergency? Because it's kind of a very vague concept in Kali Yuga. It seems like every moment is an emergency.
Yeah, actually, if your real standard of devotion is high, then Krishna will help you to distinguish between the real emergency and fake emergency. You understand? If your devotion is on high standard, just like Govinda, what he did, he, practically speaking, he jumped over Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not mind, because he understood that his mood was to serve. So Krishna will understand your mood. Sometimes, suppose example you have given that you wanted to give some prasadam from deity room and you are not clean. So at that time you can do mantra snan, mantra snan, bathe in mind. If it is emergency case and if it is really needed for preaching, you can take mantra snan and give prasadam to the guest. Sometimes I think Krishna will understand your mood. Krishna is he is sitting within our heart, so he knows what is your mood. Krishna will understand. But we have to be careful as far as possible that we don't cheat ourselves. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Also, if possible, sometimes if we have chance to ask our Guru Maharaj, Maharaj, such is the situation, what should I do? So sometimes Guru Maharaj can guide you. If you don't have chance to ask, then at least ask your Paramatma, Super Soul, and then he will guide you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, here it is mentioned about the demigods. I have heard that the lifespan of the demigod is one kalpa, means 1000 chaturjug. Is it correct, Prabhu?
Lifespan of demigods, I don't know exactly, but their lifespan is different, no? All lifespan are not same. In upper planet, I heard it starts from 10,000 years minimum. Maximum, more upper you go, from Indra, from Sargaloka you go to Mahārāja, it is more. Duration of lifespan is more. Then you go to Janaloka, it is more. Like this. But Chaturjuga, I don't think this is the lifespan of the demigods.
1000 chaturjuga.
1000 chaturjuga, yeah. 1000, I don't know. Prabhuji can say our Achinta Chaitanya Prabhu. Achha. So you have to.
I have also heard that.
Yeah. So 6 months, like this you can calculate 100 years. 6 months, Uttarayan is the daytime of demigods. 6 months, Dakshinayan is night time of demigods. So calculate like this 100 years. So then you will find the exact duration of life of the demigods.
Thank you so much.
Any other question?
I just wanted to say that you made a good point that if there is an opportunity, then one can consult one spiritual master. But I just wanted to add to that, that if one does not have the opportunity to consult one spiritual master, because Srila Prabhupada has created the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and there are so many advanced Vaishnavas. So we can always consult someone if we have the opportunity.
Shiksha Guru, Shiksha Guru. Yeah, you can also consult advanced devotees, senior devotees. Okay.
Even if Shiksha Gurus are not available, still we can always consult someone more advanced than us.
Okay, nice point. Any question from Mataji's side? Any comment or question? So, time is still there, no? Okay, you have any more comment or question? What is the time now? 5 minutes left. So, better to enjoy 5 minutes. Vishwajit, you have any question? Okay. Okay, we have a question from backside.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the nice class.
Hare Krishna.
In this verse, the demigods are praised very much, and you will not find any atheists among demigods. Also, it's mentioned that they become happy with a devotee when a devotee makes progress, and sometimes they arrange and help the devotee in their spiritual progress. But elsewhere in Bhagavatam, we also find that the demigods are creating challenges for devotees as well. And elsewhere we find that everyone is pretty much a demon in the material world other than a devotee of the Lord. So Prabhupada also mentioned that even the demigods, they also have some demoniac nature because they are not completely pure, and only a devotee of the Lord who is completely pure practices complete non-violence. We find sometimes devotees, they tend to depend on demigods for even they think that they can help in certain regards. Could be material arrangements, could be marriage, wanting to get a good husband or wife, or we see devotees actually worshipping celebrating like Ganesh Chaturthi in their houses, like Vaishnavas, or I mean at least in our movement they are doing this. What is your advice on how the practicing devotees should deal with demigods?
Yeah, according to Bhagavatam, akama sarva kama va moksha kama udaradhi tibrena bhakti yogena jajetu purusham param. If you have desire or no desire, akama sarva kama moksha kama, if you are desirous to achieve moksha, liberation, under all circumstances you should worship only the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now regarding worshipping demigods, even the gopis, they worshipped Kattayoni. But the target was Krishna. His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj says that I think some devotees are worshipping Vishwakarma, I think in BBT. So Maharaj said he is our life member. Vishwakarma is our life member, ISKCON life member. Sometimes we worship life member, when they come, we give nice prasadam, we try to please them. So sometimes we may try to please demigods, or by chance you suddenly, suppose Durga Puja is going on and you suddenly crossing one pendal, Durga pendal with your rickshaw, and you can offer obeisances to Durga, but asking Krishna Bhakti, please give me devotion to Lord Krishna. And demigods also sometimes commits offenses to the Lord, to Vaishnavas. Indra committed offense to Durvasa Muni, Nal Kuber and Manigrib committed offense to Narad Muni. So it happens, but they are ready to rectify. The devotees can rectify. When they understand their mistake, they are ready to rectify. But demons, they don't want to rectify. Demigods sometimes commit mistake. Indra committed offense to Indra committed offense to Krishna at the time of Govardhan pastime. Brahma committed offense to Krishna by stealing calves and cows and cowherd boys. So they do, but this is part of Krishna's pastime, and they are ready to rectify. But our target should be somehow or other, even if we want to please demigod, the target should be to achieve love of Godhead, love of Krishna. That should be the target. I don't know whether I got your question or not, but what I understood, I tried to explain. All right? So I can stop here. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Samavita Vaishnava Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Pramanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Hari. Srila Prabhupada ki.